31st July, martyrdom day of a great personality who is also known as Shahid-e-Azam Sardar Udham Singh. Maybe very few people know about him. He is that person who killed the main culprit of Jallianwala Bagh Hatyakand, the Lieutenant Governor of Punjab, Mikhail O. Dyer. Udham Singh, inspired by Bhagat Singh, he joined the organization Gadar Party in 1924. In 1927, he was arrested for illegal possession of firearms while returning to India. In 1934, Udham Singh went to Britain with a name Ram Mohammad Singh Azad, where he stayed undercover and get opportunity to kill O. Dyer when he attended a meeting in Caxton Hall, London. The date was March 13, 1940, when Udham Singh assassinated Mikhail O. Dyer. After shooting him, he didn't run but surrendered himself. He was tried and sentenced to death. On 31st July 1940, Udham Singh hanged at Pentonville Prison, London. Let's recall Jallianwala Bagh massacre, as it was the most tragic and pivotal event in the history of British India. This brutal act marked a significant turning point in the Indian independence movement. Jallianwala Bagh massacre, also known as Amritsar massacre, which took place on April 13, 1919. If we talk about the background of the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, there were many causes which pushed civilians to become anti-British, and a huge nationalist sentiment generated just after the arrest of Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu and Dr. Satyapal. Let's discuss the causes one by one. First, impact of World War I. The Britishers did not fulfill a specific explicit promise to Gandhi regarding self-rule after World War I. British did not grant the dominion status or self-government despite Indian help in World War I. Second reason was the Montagu-Chelmsford reform, which introduced hierarchy at the provincial level, divided subject into reserves and transferred. However, key area remains under British control, like defence, foreign affairs and finance. This act introduced limited franchisee, excluding large portion of Indian population from participation of election. Indian nationalists seeking complete independence, that is Purna Swaraj, viewed the Government of India Act 1990 as unsatisfactory. The last nail to the coffin was Rowlatt Act 1919. Official name, the Anarchical and Revolutionary Crime Act 1990, which introduced to curb revolutionary activities. It allowed British authorities to arrest and detain individuals without trial. Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu and Dr. Satyapal arrest was under the same act. This triggered the protest and unrest. General Dyer imposed martial law in the city. On the same date, April 13, 1919, the coincidence was that the festival of Baisakhi attracted a large crowd to Jallianwala Bagh, where people gathered to celebrate and protest. Despite General Dyer's order, which prohibited unlawful assembly, when General Dyer received the news of this gathering, he led his troops to Bagh and ordered them to fire without warning. People tried to escape, but the single narrow entrance of Jallianwala Bagh was blocked by Dyer's troops, leaving no escape route. The firing lasted for 10 to 15 minutes. A total of 1,650 rounds were fired. If we talk about the casualties, General Dyer and Mr. Irving estimated a total of 291 deaths, but the report of committee led by Madan Mohan Malviya put the death toll at more than 500. If we talk about the response to Jallianwala Bagh massacre, Indian National Congress strongly condemned the massacre. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, deeply shocked, and returned the Kesar-e-Hind Medal awarded to him for his service during the Boer War. Indian National Congress set up its non-official committee to inquire about the massacre. Members of the committee include Motilal Nehru, C.R. Das, Abbas Tayyab, M.R. Jaikar and Mahatma Gandhi. Rabindranath Tagore was deeply disturbed by the incident and he renounced all titles bestowed upon him, including knighthood. Many British leaders, including Winston Churchill and former Prime Minister, criticized the massacre in British Parliament. But some response was unusual, like Mikhail O. Dyer, the Lieutenant Governor of Punjab, expressed strong support for Dyer's action. The clergy of the Golden Temple, led by Arun Singh, honored General Dyer by declaring him a Sikh. This act of clergy pushed the already main demand of Khalsa Diwan Majha led to start of Gurudwara reform movement. After all these events occur, a Hunter Commission, officially known as the Disorder Inquiry Committee, was established in October 14, 1990 to investigate the massacre, chaired by Lord William Hunter. The committee includes 3 Indians: Chimanlal Setalwat, Pandit Jagat Narayan, Sahibzada Sultan Ahmad Khan. The Hunter Commission report submitted on May 26, 1920. British were in majority, so the majority report of Hunter Commission was that committee condemned General Dyer's action as a mistaken concept of duty, found the firing justified, but with a warning should have been given and duration of firing should be shortened. Thank you. Subscribe the channel for more such updates. Share the video if you found the video informative.